this gonna work? I hope it's gonna work. Hi everyone. So I wanted to share my story of how I started drinking coffee, because I never drank coffee throughout my whole entire college career. I went to RAT for so I went to RAT from the time that I was, hey Amanda, let's see, I started going to RAT when I was a hot mess and I had no right in trying to go to college, and I could have cared less, and I failed everything, and I didn't go to class, and it was just bad. So I, hey Judy, so I did not forget to get back to you. I'm so sorry. I'm tired with the reset. Hey Colleen, and I tomorrow morning I hope to get up and get back to messages, so forgive me on that. Okay, so I never drank coffee the whole time I did my undergrad, and then I did my grad degree in 1 year, and I went to RIT for a very long time. Like, I was a professional student. I was really great at it. I was great at getting A's. Hey Katie, hey Sonia. Hey Ja. So I was great at getting A's. I became like addicted to school, and I was good at it. So I kept going. Like I was just, I just kept going. So anyways, I never drank coffee. And I remember sitting like in the library and everyone would have their coffee and they'd be in Java's and they'd have their coffee and I would just get a hot chocolate with like chocolate sprinkles and that would be my treat. But I didn't have coffee, but guess what I had? Like I had opiates and I had awesome medicine and it got me through. And I remember sitting in class and I would wait like 2 hours into a 4 hour class and I would take my medicine and that was my coffee. Hey Savannah, so so it'd be like all right, I will, Ja. Uh, I would just wait, like, so 6 to 10 class, like at 8 o'clock, I would take half of a Percocet, and I'd be like, oh, guess what? We perked all up, right? I would just be happy and good to go, and I got through my classes. So when I started going to RIT, I was on methadone because I had taken Oxycontin for a while. Hey Catherine, hey Josh. So I had taken Oxycontin, I had taken methadone after it, and I started to try and go to RIT like officially this time. So this was like 2000 and I don't know 5. And hey Nicole, I tried to. So I was finally going to school officially. Like I was going to get back into RIT. I was going to prove to them I was going to go to school and not screw it up this time. So I couldn't take methadone anymore because I couldn't focus on that med. So that's when I started taking Percocets. The generic name is oxycodone. And I had 10 milligram pills, and I would break them in half and in pieces, and I would do my best to like make them last throughout the whole day. And I tried to always take less than I needed to, but I definitely knew that they would work and that I could take them and they would be like coffee, you know? Totally happy pills, Amanda. And then I would take a bunch of meds to go to sleep, and I never took antidepressants, but I didn't need them because I had my own kind of meds, and it worked. So fast forward many years, I still never drank coffee when I did my graduate degree. I just kept like a case of Red Bull in my trunk the whole time. And then, hey Brandy, and then so I started working full time, and that was my first job, and I don't know, that was only 6 years ago. I've only been working full time for 6 years because of my disability and everything. I was on disability, and I was on Social Security and SSI, and I could only work part time, and I got my food stamps, and I got my Medicare and my Medicaid, and that's how I survived for a very long time. And then I finally found a job that I could sit down and work full time, and it was decent money, and it was the most money I had made in a long time, because I was limited to, I think, I don't know what it is now, but I want to say back then I was never able to make more than $700 a month or $1,000 a month. Like that's all you're allowed to make when you are on assistance. So I couldn't make that much money, which meant we could never really buy a house, and I could only own a car. And I didn't want to move forward and, have a family that way. Not that that's not an okay way to move forward. I just knew I wanted more, and I wanted to be able to be in control of our future, and I wanted to be able to in control of my income. And I got this full-time job at Paytech, and I was able to sit down and work full-time, and I worked a lot, and I all of a sudden just was in horrible, tremendous pain, like pain I hadn't been in a very long time. So I didn't understand. I all of a sudden was sitting down, and I was, didn't understand how this was the job I was supposed to be able to do, and that I couldn't. I'm just going to make the comments go away. I'll read them in a second. So I didn't understand why I was in excruciating pain. I was sitting down. So this was like 5 years ago. So my ankle had done a lot, and it was shattered. And, I was lucky to walk and lucky to have my leg. And I pushed it, and it just was done. So all the cartilage was gone, and there's bone spurs everywhere, and it was just bad. So it was sharp shooting sledgehammer pain just when I was sitting. So I'd be at work on the phone, and I would just be in all this pain. So that meant more meds. And then I had my ankle fusion. And that was the hardest decision I ever made, but it was the best decision I made, and it freed me of the ankle brace. So recovered from that, lost the weight, felt better, lived in the gym all the time, obsessed with it because it helped me feel better. And then we were, working towards planning our wedding, and then talking children. And I can't take meds and have a kid. So I had to stop taking the meds, and I was so tired. So enter coffee. I didn't like it when I first started drinking it, and we had a coffee lady at Paytech, so I started drinking it with just like a little vanilla flavor, a little cream, but since I still was like on my weight loss mission, there was no sugar added at all, except for that little bit of flavor, and I wouldn't use sugar-free flavoring because that's just gross. If I'm going to do the flavoring, I'm going to use the real thing. So I slowly got to where I didn't like the flavoring in the coffee, and I liked it just plain. And the more coffee, the better. So I started drinking coffee. And so I've only really been drinking coffee for like 4 years. And it was coffee replaced my pain meds. And ever since, kind of, so for 4 years, I'm like, it's like almost the same thing. So I was basically off of my meds, trying for a baby. And then I crashed my Pontiac, and I hurt my ankle again, so I was back on medical leave, back taking my meds, and then I got pregnant. So there goes my meds. So I think it's been like, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know it was February 2013 I took my last pain meds, and last migraine, or not migraine meds, sorry, I still take those. It was the last time I took muscle relaxer, it was the last time I took an Ambien, it was the last time I took any oxycodone, it was the last time I took any nerve medicine, any anti-inflammatory meds. It was the last time I went to the pain doctor. Like, I went there for 13 years every month. So now I drink a lot of coffee, and I just haven't been feeling great. Honestly, I really feel like I can tell it in my posts and just in my energy, and I've just been kind of tired. And I realized, I just wrote a blog about why I'm really doing this. And first, because my coworker, challenged me basically in a way where he wanted to do the ultimate reset. And you need a partner. You need someone to get you through. And that's literally what life is about, right? You need people to motivate you, but you need to motivate yourself. But then you need to have an accountability partner to keep you through. So we decided to do this, and I wasn't sure about giving up coffee for 21 days. And he's already done with it. And he did the 3-day reset before we started. And I don't give coffee up during the 3-day reset. Props to you, Colleen, on giving the coffee up. But if I'm going to just feel like crap for 3 days, it's not worth it for me. However, wow, only 1 day, really, and I feel fine. I have a slight migraine, but I'm pretty sure it's related to the cold weather and the rain. I think it has nothing to do with, I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that I didn't have any coffee today. I woke up wide awake, and I was ready to go. And I didn't need any pain meds. I didn't need any coffee. I just had my good, clean food and water, lots of water to start my day, like lots of water. I mean, this is honestly, I'm a huge water drinker, but this is the most amount of water I have had in the last 3 days in a very long time. So much so that I was kind of hard to drink it yesterday. But today being at work was a better day. I wasn't as tired. We did yoga on lunch, and I was actually hungry to eat the food because it's kind of a lot of food too. It's 3 meals, and then you can have your shake, and usually my shake is a meal. So for me, that's a lot of food. But it's clean food. It's foods I'm not used to eating all the time. I'm doing this cold quinoa salad. I don't really do that. I didn't make the lentils yet, but don't worry, I got 2 more weeks to do a lot more things. I really think I'm going to be using the seaweed to make a veggie kind of soup next week, so this will have to come about in a live video. But I'm really just trying to embrace this fully and just love the fact that, like, I haven't been officially like substance free in a very, very long time. So this is like, I think a freaking huge deal. I'm just realizing just in the last 2 days that, like, wow, I've always replaced. So just because I've stopped doing something, I've always replaced. I've replaced one thing with another. And there's no replacing. Like, this is just water. There's no pain meds. There's no coffee. Nothing else. No substances. No drinking. Nothing. Nothing for the next 21 days. So, yeah, I have Shakeology now. And I'm not going to consider that as a replacement because I'm not starting my day with that right now. Hey, Kristen. Thanks, Amanda. I'm not starting my day with my Shakeology. I'm using it for a snack because let me tell you about these horrible greens. Like, anyone that can drink them, these, like, the green mix. It's like a green, super power greens, and you add them to your shake. That's what they're really kind of for. Thanks, Colleen. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's actually really super amazing now that I'm really kind of just, like, embracing it because it's freaking crazy. And like, I lived off of coffee last week, and to go no coffee today and yesterday, that's just fucking crazy. So I'm not starting my day with my shake. So, like, I'm not starting my day with anything. So just water. Just water. Like, that's fucking phenomenal. Sonia, so I only usually do 1 cup a day as well. Like, I love coffee. I'm not knocking it. I do believe that I love the taste of it. Like, so I kind of am looking forward to just, like, enjoying some decaf coffee and some drinks that aren't caffeine related. And so let's rewind a little bit. Before I had my ankle fusion, I had to stop taking Excedrin migraine because I was taking it, like, all the time. And Excedrin migraine has aspirin in it. So you can't have aspirin in you when you're going to have major surgery, and an ankle fusion is a major surgery. They re-break your ankle, take all the cartilage out, lots of hardware put in, and lots of blood. And it was just, it's a bad, big surgery. So I had to stop taking that, and I swore after that, like, I stopped that habit, and that was it. I was done. So moral of the story is, it's not easy to change. It's not easy to stop doing something, but you have to be fully committed, and you have to want it, and you have to want it bad enough to stay committed to it. So you miss a workout, that's okay, but you do it again the next day. You have a bad day of eating, it's okay, but you keep going. Whatever you do that brings you that good feeling, that, great feeling, you have to keep going. You just can't give up. Like, I could have been like, oh, these programs aren't working anymore the way they used to, and I could have just stopped. But I had to be honest with myself that I was allowing myself to, like, not just eat a little bit of peanut butter out of the jar. And I was allowing myself not to, like, just have a cookie here and there. And I was allowing myself to eat a little more food, here and there, more carbs. And it really took a toll on me, and I know that that's one reason why I've been more tired. Yes, this is a hard time of year for me with the weather changing back and forth. My body doesn't feel as great, but ultimately, like I said in my blog, I had to remind myself, when did I feel the best? I felt the best within the first 3 weeks of doing the 21-day fix. Like, I felt amazing because I felt like such crap before I started. I just was struggling so bad before I started. And that first 3 weeks was amazing. The first week was amazing. The second round was amazing. Like, it just was this thing I could do, and I could focus on it, and I could get it done, and it was simple, and it really made my life so much better because planning the food and meal prepping and getting all that done and getting my workout done on lunch and fitting it all in and still being able to have time at night to play and go do things and go to the playground. God, I could freaking walk to the playground. Like, I couldn't even walk to the playground comfortably. I could walk to the ice cream store. I couldn't even walk to the ice cream store. I wouldn't even want to do that. And now it's no big deal. Just like, oh, it's like the ice cream store is right down the street. I'll just walk to it. That was never a thought in my mind before I started making sure I took care of myself. So it doesn't really matter what you use to take care of yourself. You just need to take care of yourself. And you need to be honest with yourself about whatever you need to change if something's not working for you. And for me, I just, having Kaden was like such a blessing to get off all the meds because I needed something to push me. So I think that's it. You need a push. You need someone to push you. You need some motivation, but you also have to want it. So I can keep motivating you and I can keep pushing you, but if you don't want it and you don't want to work for it and you don't want to be committed to it, then it's not gonna work. You're gonna stop. So it's a two-part process here. This works. What we do works for all of us. It works for us because together we're in it. We hold each other accountable. But ultimately, I could not listen to anyone, and I could just eat what I wanted to all day long and say I was eating something different, but then I'd feel like crap, and that really wouldn't work. So cheers to day 2, no coffee. Cheers to going to sleep now, way before 11. I'm ready to go to bed. The only other thing I had to do was get a little bit of hummus and a snack, which is great, cherry tomatoes and carrots, which I honestly don't like to eat either one of these raw. And I don't like to eat cherry tomatoes whole, but I guess I'm going to tomorrow with hummus. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the support always. It can be overwhelming. It can seem like it's overwhelming. You just start small. Trust me, when I stopped taking my pain meds, I didn't just say, all done with the pain meds. I started small. I decreased gradually, and then I just had to stop when I got pregnant. The next time that I stopped, because the first time I just stopped on my own, and then the next time I just was like, all right, today I'll take a little less, tomorrow I got to be done because I'm pregnant. But that was horrible. It was horrible. But no one really knows about that because I was out of work and I was home and I was terrified to leave the house because I just recrashed my car and like rewound back to that trauma when I spun in my car, and I didn't leave the house, so I was terrified of driving and being in the snow driving, and I was able to just detox and go no meds and be sick and not feel good and be pregnant and not really be able to do anything about it, the sickness, and just get through it. And it was a blessing. So blessings come with a brick. Sometimes you just need a huge motivation to push you, and you just have to stay committed. And it's okay to be in a rut, and it's okay to not feel great, and you just have to know when it's time to get out of it. And then once you do, try not to let yourself go back there. So day 3 for me, I'm loving it. It's up and down. You feel great, and then you feel tired, and it's a total, like, detoxifying your body. So this will be 21 days of completely substance-free, but really it's 20. I had a little bit of coffee on the first day, and I only had 1 cup of coffee on Friday. So I tried to just gradually decrease. But yeah, so looking forward to not replacing it with anything, no more substances with anything, and then enjoying just, maybe some decaf and coffee here and there, but much less caffeine, much less focusing on those things to get you going. Just wake up and be ready to go, and be grateful you're alive, and be grateful you can walk, and be grateful you can do all those things on your own that not everyone can, and that's a blessing. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for the love as always. I'm going to go to bed and peace out, but have a good night and have a great day tomorrow. Bye.